to Spirituality in the 21st Century. I'm Shari Malin from Energy Tarot and Magic, and I'm so glad you've joined me for today's show. I have a great show for you today, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the energies this week are going to be a little bit weird. Mercury retrograde is going to end on Monday, and that means that communication and technology will get back on track very soon, but not immediately. So give it a little bit of time before you start worrying. The chaotic energy will begin to smooth out and you'll start to feel better. Like I said, be patient, give the energy a couple of days to fully settle into normal before you discount the fact that the Mercury retrograde has ended. The other thing that happens on the 9th is a full moon in Virgo. Your imagination is going to bloom, you're going to feel able and have a desire to break out of your norm. It's a time to examine your beliefs and determine if they still fit you, and if they don't, let them go. This moon will particularly force you to choose between what is good and what is natural, and look to nature for inspiration. You're going to want to cleanse and regenerate during this moon, so I'm going to recommend a ritual bath or shower at some point during that moon time, so Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Prepare for possible reunions. People have a tendency to come back into your life. These possible reunions can include reuniting with your essential self. You want to shed any kind of skin or beliefs or hang-ups that no longer serve you and let them go. Be aware of the mind-body connection. How do your thoughts and what you feed yourself affect your body? And if you find that it's not in a positive way, go ahead and work on changing it. A lot of people will become rational and practical compared to how they were just a couple of days earlier. And small details may appear to be more important than they actually are. This can often lead to arguments, so kind of be aware of that. You may feel like you're becoming more disciplined and responsible, more diligent and careful, but only in the small details. Okay, you're not looking at the big picture here, so you're not making big changes. Your intuition will not necessarily be as on point as it normally is, and this can cause issues with big, important, or risky decisions, so you want to be careful with those things. This is a time to focus on routine, not starting new projects. And the health vulnerabilities for this time are the lower abdomen and intestines, so change your diet to be something that's easy on your stomach. The next moon energy transit that we have is the waning gibbous moon in Libra from the 10th through the 11th. And this transit creates calm and harmony, and conflict is less possible. You'll connect more easily with people, and compromise is a prevalent energy. It's easier to understand and relate to other people, and you're more easily able to forgive and forget. People are polite and diplomatic, and it's easy to avoid arguments. It's a good time for meetings and negotiations, making peace, improving your relationships, and finding solutions to common problems. You may face some indecisiveness, have difficulty making important decisions, and the health vulnerabilities for that time are your hips, kidneys, bladder, pancreas. You want to avoid exposure to cold. Don't sit on the ground, especially if it's still cold out, and watch your diet carefully. It's very important to your overall health. Then we have the waning gibbous moon in Scorpio from the 12th through the 13th. This is an emotional charge, and sensitivity will increase. Don't get swept away by irritability, mood swings, hysteria, big and small excitements, and a desire to make quick changes. People often become more conscious of themselves and others and see everything in dark tones during this transit. It's a good time for self-analysis and improvement, correction of bad habits, and the repair in shortcomings. As we improve, so does the world around us, so consider that every improvement you make to yourself is an improvement for the world. The health vulnerabilities at this time are your sex organs and colon. You want to continue to avoid exposure to cold, be careful with or avoid sex. The diet recommendations for this time are carbohydrates, kind of tone down the spicy or heavy foods, and include more fresh fruits and vegetables. An active lifestyle where you're sitting less and exercising more is also recommended. The waning gibbous moon in Sagittarius from the 14th through the 15th will bring pacification and stability. People are going to calm down and become more orderly again. They tend to follow rules and routines, long to receive and give advice and recommendations, and look for teachers and protectors. An interest in social life and your place in society increases. There's a desire for more stable and comfortable life as well. This is the best time for educational work, to give and receive knowledge, and to help find answers. Advise only if someone asks, otherwise go and ask for advice for yourself. This is not the time for unsolicited advice. Your health vulnerabilities include the blood, circulatory system, liver, and skin. It's not a good time for a liver detox. Avoid prolonged walks and hikes and straining your legs because of the circulation. Avoid eating fat, heavy foods. Animal and plant proteins should be balanced, and it's a good time for effective stimulation and healing of your respiratory system. So breathing practices and exercises are recommended as well as yoga. So I have some recommendations for crystals and herbs that can help during this coming week. The crystals that will help you connect with the full moon in Virgo work well on healing and calming your inner conflicts. Full moon again is on Monday, the 9th of March. First stone is green aventurine. This is encouraging practicality, and it's demanded by Mercury at this time. So as Mercury comes out of retrograde, you're going to need to focus on more practical parts of your life, whereas in the past few weeks, you've been focusing more on that chaos. Aventurine is also great for organization, schedules, and routines, and it will help you not overcomplicate things. So where the Virgo moon is going to force you to look at little details, that can sometimes overcomplicate larger issues, and you want to have something that will mitigate that. Aventurine will help you with that. It will also help you be mindful of what's helping you to be successful and what's getting in your way. So kind of listen for those messages as you're using and working with aventurine. Moss agate, again, one of my favorite stones, is great for physical healing. It can help when you're creating new workout routines, meditation practices, or weekly meal plans, and it helps you to focus on making your health a priority. Emerald is helping you to keep from getting too caught up in your own thoughts, help you to get out of your head and into your heart and create stillness in your world. It also reminds you to check in with your feelings before you make big decisions. Even though it may be a kind of decision that focuses more on your intellect and less on your emotions, it's still important that you check in with your emotions to make sure that you're not choosing things that are going to break your heart later. Amethyst is great for spiritual awareness, psychic abilities, inner peace and healing, the healing of your body, mind, and soul. So it connects very well with what I was just saying about emerald. And it's great for positive transformation and balance. Magnetite is good for health, stability, strength, and perspective. And clear quartz is excellent for harmony, energy, healing, clarity, and calmness. All right, so the energy of the Virgo full moon is perfect for healing and calming inner conflict. The grid we're going to create today is going to help you amplify the moon's energy for a great cleanse and reboot. We're going to use aventurine, which is here, moss agate, clear quartz, amethyst, emerald, and magnetite. I also have the flower of life grid here set into the bottom of my stone box. And let's see, better picture there. All right, so as always, just kind of choose where you'd like to put things based on how they feel good to you. I'm putting the emerald in the middle. Remember that emerald is great for helping you from getting too caught up in your own thoughts, helps you get out of your head and into your heart, creates stillness, and reminds you to check in with your feelings before you make big decisions. From there, we're going to go to moss agate, which is good for physical healing. Get some of my amethyst out of the way here. Moss agate there. All right, and then we're going to go to the aventurine, which is good for encouraging practicality, which is great because the energy right now is trying to bring in some kind of temptations. So stay focused on your practicality. It'll help you with organization, scheduling, and routines, and keep you from overcomplicating things. All right, then the clear quartz is for harmony, energy, healing, and clarity, and calmness. And again, you'll see some of my stones are not perfect. They're not particularly pretty, but they are energized the way they need to be, so it's not a problem. And you can see this one's actually broken. And I still use it because it works just great. It's a wonderful stone. And I actually think it kind of gives it a little bit of personality that it's actually got some breaks in it. All right, then we have amethyst, which is for spiritual awareness, psychic abilities, inner peace and healing, healing your body, mind, and soul, and positive transformation. All of these are energies you're going to come across in the coming weeks. And then I'm going to place some magnetite here around the outside edge. And the magnetite is for health, stability, strength, and perspective. Again, helping you to avoid those temptations I just mentioned. The other thing the magnetite does is it kind of draws in energy in a way you might not expect because of its magnetic properties. So it's good for attracting. Alrighty. Let me take a look at it, make sure I don't want to put anything else anywhere. I do not. All right, so I can already feel the energy coming off of this particular grid, and I hope that you can too. I'm going to go ahead and focus our intention. Again, this is for healing and calming your inner conflicts. So this is something that you're going to want to place maybe in your desk drawer at work or somewhere in your house where you seem to have more conflict than others. And this one is a big one. I can feel it. I hope you guys can feel it coming through the video as well. Oh my goodness. All right. So I hope that you have enjoyed this particular crystal grid. I'm going to leave this one set up in my sacred space while I'm away. I'm going to be traveling for a little bit this week, and I know I'm going to need the calming energy that it carries with it. It's just going to be a stressful time while I'm gone, and I hope that you can benefit from this energy as well. The herbs to help you heal and enhance your calm include ginger, which is an energetic, powerful herb that will speed things up for you and help you bring in healing energy for your health. Chamomile is great for tranquility and purification. It helps bring in peace and love to your life. Lavender is excellent for sleep, protection, purification, and clarity of thought. And lemon balm is for purification and blessing. So all of these herbs can be taken internally as a tea, or you can put them in foods that you're cooking if you purchase them from a food grade distributor. And again, that is very important. If you're not growing your own herbs, you don't want to just randomly eat herbs that you bought from some place that you've never been to or that does not advertise that they are food grade. This is a great collection of herbs to create a healing bath for enhancing your calm. And again, as I mentioned earlier, this is important for shedding some of the stresses that have built up over the last couple of weeks. If you're feeling a little under the weather or your brain is scattered and you're having trouble focusing, this ritual bath can help calm your mind and heal your body. You're going to need ginger, chamomile, lemon balm, a cotton bag, amethyst, clear quartz, and moss agate. You want to run your bath or prepare your shower, depending on how you prefer. Add the herbs to the bag and place it in the water, either under the spray of your shower or into the tub with you. Place the stones around you in the tub or in the shower. Then lay back and relax. And if you're showering, just stand and enjoy the feel and sensation and scent of all of the things that we've combined here for this particular ritual. And just relax. Experience those sensations. Focus your thoughts on being open to accepting the energies that you've combined in the herbs and the stones. And listen to any messages that you might receive. Your intuition may be running on a low ebb right now, but that doesn't mean it's gone. So listen. When you're finished with the bath, dry the herbs and then burn them to release the energy. And place the stones where you can benefit from their energies or carry them with you until the new moon.
my money grow like watch my money grow like a proud parent. Yeah, my money getting old and it's colder than the snow bunny. Happy get money, honey.
Welcome to the third section of my interview with Ina Backbier. I hope you've been enjoying what she's been sharing. I really enjoyed talking with her. Her energy is just so amazing to connect with, and I hope that you take the opportunity to connect with her as well.
Is I'm teaching them to learn to tune into their bodies and to honor their needs,
Mm-hmm.
and to become aware of their needs. And that way, our bodies and our minds and our souls get connected again, get aligned, because we can be trusted again.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes, because we learned early on a lot of times that we cannot trust ourselves to even ask for what we need. And then when people reject our requests, that reinforces that, well, we didn't deserve that. And so there's that reinforcement of that disconnect and that distrust of ourselves.
Exactly. And so really, and in essence, there are a lot of tools and ways, and I use hypnotherapy and counseling, but really what I do is holding space for people to connect with their own guidance,
Mm-hmm.
because we have the tools inside of us.
Yes.
Right. So, it's so once we learn to reframe our illness, our pain, from a nuisance, something to get rid of, to an invitation to transformation,
Mm-hmm.
once we really can do that, then, this is where we grow to our whole potential. This is what, I profoundly feel and stand for.
Yes. And that's beautiful. And it's beautiful that you're able and willing to reach out to folks and help them find their path as well. Because as a society, this is why we have the opioid crisis, is because not only the people who are in pain, but the people who can help them not be in pain are just as guilty of, here's a pill, here's another pill, take this one instead, take this one in addition. My mother has a pile of pills every day that she takes, and some of them are for spiritual and emotional stuff. Some of them are for physical stuff. And I know she needs the physical stuff. And I know that in the way that she needs the emotional stuff too. But I know for myself, when I was taking drugs for depression and anxiety, I didn't like the way I felt because I didn't feel anything.
Yeah.
So I have found ways over the last 10 years when I stopped taking them to look at, why am I feeling like this? Why am I reacting like that? Why am I fighting myself? Why am I staying up and pushing through instead of listening when my body says, you ought to go to sleep? And I have learned some very harsh lessons doing it that way, but it's been worth it because I don't have that need for an outside cure for why I feel the way I feel.
That's beautiful.
Thank
yeah.
you.
It's really that shift of this frame of consciousness from life happening to me in the victim stance to really life is happening through me. Right? Yes.
And I don't want anyone to mistake the idea that we're saying, stop taking your meds. Please don't do that.
No.
Please add this as an additional way of feeling better. Don't stop doing what your doctor told you to do just because we said this works. But
no, I'm not. I would never advise anyone. I would never advise anyone to stop taking their medication. And that's they need to check that with their health practitioner. What I am saying is that beyond treating symptoms, put your gaze inside and take an honest look at how you are co-creating your situation. And that's not, and that's something so people confuse. It's not from a point of view of blaming. We often blame somebody.
Yes.
And that's not at all what I mean. This is really taking responsibility, the ability to respond. And that is really very empowering.
Yes.
Right?
To have that effect on yourself.
Yeah.
Because that is your primary relationship in your entire life, is that one with yourself. And we neglect it so horribly
Yes.
that we damage ourselves.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Often the disconnect comes very young, and I can see sometimes with clients who are having, you know, even I'm just thinking of one particular client who has a lot of PMS problems and pain, and really, if I look at it, you know, our body is made is regenerating all the times. Our cells are regenerating, and what are they regenerating of is what we eat and what we feed ourselves, and our thoughts. Everything matters. It's all energy. And so our hormones too are made of what we eat. So if we feed ourselves junk food all the time, you know, that is creating an imbalance by itself. It's very simple. And so often very simple nutritional tools can help to rebalance, you know.
And with the PMS stuff, that's not just, I mean, nutrition plays a very big role in how you feel during that part of the month. But our society has shamed us for so long that there's something wrong about having menstruation and the things that it does to us on a monthly basis, that we've learned to hate that part of ourselves, which of course leads to, well, why would you hate part of yourself? And if you hate that part, get rid of it.
Yeah, we deny our femininity.
Definitely.
And it's really by embracing who we are and standing in our power. That is exactly where our strength is coming from.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes. So it's really, really funny that we brought that up with the PMS, because it's really a denial of us as women, right?
Yes. It really is.
Actually, I have a really brilliant book. I can quickly show it to you.
Absolutely.
That I'm just reading, and I thought that fits perfectly in the discussion that we have. There you are.
Well, I'm going to have to get that one. So it's Patriarchy, Stress Disorder, the Invisible Barrier to Women's Happiness and Fulfillment.
Exactly.
I saw a commercial on television the other day, and it just made me so angry that men can have erectile dysfunction medication. They don't actually physically have to see a doctor, and they will mail them the medication. Whereas women, if we want something as simple as birth control, we got to see 3 doctors, get the approval of our husbands, all kinds of crazy things. And it's just because the people in charge are like, well, okay, guys need this. You don't need that. Your husband might want kids. I don't care if my husband does want kids. I might not. And if I don't, I should have the option of finding a healthy alternative that works for me. And it shouldn't take 4 doctors. So yeah, we live in a society that is determined to make women feel like they are wrong for being physically women. And it's so frustrating and so damaging to especially to the young women who are just kind of coming into understanding that that's how the world is right now.
Well, I do feel there's a strong movement in another direction.
Thank goodness.
And this is where the shift is happening. Because it's only by us standing in our power, like even the huge wave of Me Too, and now finally coming out of hiding.
Yes.
Right? There's nothing wrong with us.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, I do thank you very much for coming and talking with me today. If folks want to get in contact directly with you, how can they do it?
I have my website, and if you would love to connect, it's my website is inabackbier.com, and there is a button, book a call, if you would love to connect with me. I would love to hear from you. Yes.
That sounds great. So I hope folks will check you out and contact you. And I know that I've met you in a wonderful group online that I like to kind of plug these groups because they're so great. This was Power Up with Kim E. Woods, who, if you haven't seen her yet or met her yet, she's amazing. You got to stop into her group, and that's her free group that's open to everybody. So check it out. It's Power Up and you'll see it on Facebook. And it's great for, especially for women, and really great for women entrepreneurs, which is something that a lot of us are finding our way to as the way we work changes.
That's right.
But thank you so much for stopping by today, and I'm so glad you could talk with our guests.
So this week there is a full moon on Monday, and it's a great time to cleanse and regenerate. So like I said, I shared with you the ritual bath. It's a great way to get started. You're also going to want to rest a little bit during this full moon energy, because you're going to want to let things regenerate, let your body relax and accept the changes from the last month. This is the time to set your intentions for next month. It's also a good time to set up your plan of action to see that your intentions come to fruition. So this is a good time for focusing on the details of your action plan, as the energy is great for seeing the little things that you might otherwise overlook. Use my full moon worksheet to get yourself organized, and I will include the link in the description of this video. Stay focused as much as you can on your intentions, and don't be distracted by the earthly temptations that are presented to you. And have fun. Ritual is supposed to be is about having a good time, honoring the divine and the energies that are surrounding you. It doesn't have to be a serious, somber event. It can be something that you have a good time doing. This is a great time to start thinking that way, because as the spring energies come in, that fun energy is going to come faster and faster, and you're going to want to use it. All right, this week's Oracle Outlook reading is from my new Chakra Oracle card deck. And if you like this, you can order it for yourself on my website, which is energytarotmagic.weebly.com. So the cards I've drawn for this week's Outlook Oracle reading are the Root Chakra Alignment, the Sacral Chakra Flower card, and the Solar Plexus Affirmation card. The Root Chakra Alignment card reminds us when our root chakra is out of alignment and what we can physically do in order to wrangle it back into alignment. You can plant your feet in soil or sand, spend time in nature, or get a houseplant to bring a little nature into your home. The root chakra is connected to our survival instincts, and misalignment can mean we don't feel safe and secure in ourselves or in our home space. So this is something you may want to address when you pull this card. The sacral chakra is connected to our sexual desires and energies. It's time to release old patterns, accept new knowledge, and connect to our inner strength. Use the tiger lily to connect to these energies. And I don't know about you, but I have memories from earliest childhood of tiger lilies that grew by the side of the road in Pennsylvania, and they have always been one of my favorite flowers. They're so hardy and so tough that it's difficult to get rid of them once they've taken root. So take that kind of energy and put it to work for your own personal power, and remember that once you have it, no one can take it away from you unless you give it to them. The affirmations for aligning your solar plexus chakra remind you to honor your personal power. Stand up for yourself, be strong and courageous, and honor yourself and your power. This week is a week in which you'll be tested, but if you prepare for this, you'll find it easy to be successful. I want to thank you very much for your support and watching this show. And I hope that you are following me on Facebook and Instagram so that you can get the free information that I share regularly. On Facebook, you can follow either Spirituality in the 21st Century or Energy Tarot and Magic. On Instagram and YouTube, you can follow Shari Malin. It's ShariMalin. And I would be happy to have you join me in any of those places. I also offer you the opportunity to send any feedback you might have. If you'd like to email any feedback, it's sharimalin@gmail.com, and I would love to hear from you. So thank you again for joining me for this week's show, and I look forward to seeing you again next week.